let's just focus on making the best thing that we can make. And if we enjoy it, then that's good.
You guys been shooting while traveling?
Dude, we haven't been able to put the cameras down. It's been so annoying. I have terabytes and terabytes of 360 footage.
It'll be interesting to see like what the shelf life is of some of these main creators.
And it was one of the first viral videos ever.
How did you find that many fun runs that quickly?
Those guys are focused right now on winning our contract for the U.S. military.
Giving an accurate portrayal of what actually happened and who the people are without making it seem like we're trying to manipulate it in a certain way, because we really didn't. I think that was like,
some people think that we did.
Yeah, I think it was most important to us to not do that.
What you guys made with that series was such a resume builder to me.
Good morning and welcome to the Table Scraps podcast.
On today's episode, we have Mike Howe joining us for a conversation about filmmaking, the Supercat project, and some of the boats that he's working on.
I heard you go.
We hope you enjoy.
It's going back to Bob.
I thought it was my turn.
No, I said I was going to say a little something, remember? And you're like, what are you going to say? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say.
I thought you were going to say it after I said it.
No. How would that make sense?
My bad.
All right. So how was your week, Bob?
My week was good. Got a little New Year's Eve party, right?
It was a weird week.
Yeah. We took New Year's Eve, New Year's Day off.
Yep.
So just kind of a little gap in the middle. But other than that, it was good.
Same as last week.
Yeah. Yeah. The holidays are just tricky. Yeah. And we talked about it a little bit. It's nice to kind of treat it as such. You know, it's 2 weeks where you're kind of taking a load off and families around. And there's always 100 parties to go to and stuff like that. So to lessen your workload, to take it easy on yourself a little bit is nice. So those days off in between really helped.
Katie, what did you think about all those parties New Year's Eve?
Yeah, we got pretty crazy on New Year's Eve.
Oh, God. Okay, let me guess what you guys did. So you obviously didn't go anywhere. It was just the two of you. And you played Ticket to Ride?
That would have been better.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Why
didn't we think of that?
Okay.
Brad fell asleep on the couch at 8 p.m.
Oh, God. You want to know how late I stayed up?
Ooh, let me guess.
Okay.
3:30.
Later.
Oh, stop. See, you stayed up late enough for all of us.
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Yep. Nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah. How
does one stay up that late?
It's a second wind of energy. I got to stop doing it, though. I don't think I can do it for many more years, honestly.
I mean, it's New Year's Eve, though.
It was New
I know.
Eve. That was
you
the
get a
night
free
to do
pass
it.
on New Year's Eve.
I think I wanted to go out with a bang and then kind of look at my life come January 1 and be like, where can I improve?
Well, it's January 3rd.
Yeah.
What'd you come up with?
Back on keto.
Okay.
Cool.
So trying to do some physical health stuff.
Love
Maybe
that.
get back in the gym. Try to be a little bit more regimented and scheduled with the way that I'm spending my time. I think work got pretty busy to the point where I kind of set other things aside, and it was fine. That was the push. We've talked about it a million times now, but coming into January now, I'm excited to just kind of reshuffle things, reorganize, get my life back in order. So that's kind of my plan. What about you guys? Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
Well, I made a vision board.
Yeah, that was nice.
So I have a lot of visions for 2025, but one of them, which is my main goal, is to run 365 miles in the year.
So it's the same, is it a resolution kind of paired with the board? It's like the board keeps you honest and helps you stay motivated, but are you kind of like committing yourself to that?
Yeah, I'm committed to the things that I put on the board.
Okay.
I'm going to look at that board every single day, and I'm going to say, okay, am I lining up with my vision?
Yeah. Chantel says that works really well.
Yeah.
Her team does one every year, so.
It was cool. I enjoyed doing it.
It was cool that you got to do that with a group of friends, too.
Yeah, and we all talked about our visions for the year and how we can support each other to accomplish that. So,
What about you? You didn't answer the resolutions question.
No, we're getting there. I set some goals. They're pretty much all around the business. And then the one goal that I set for myself outside of that was to like not work too much. So,
Good goal. It's a good goal for
it's
you.
like a goal to keep the rest of the goals in check.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want another fall start of winter. Like October, November, December of last year wasn't something that I want to repeat.
Yeah.
I like the product at the end. We'll come up with a better way to do that, but it was too much.
If you guys can't tell, it was traumatic because we can't stop talking about it.
I know.
We're still dealing with the after effects of it. But no, that's a good goal for you, definitely.
Yeah, well, it was a mistake or, a failure in having work-life balance. So maintaining that this year is a big goal, but we've got some good ones for Scrapyard for the year. Like we talk about with Mike later on in the episode, we want to take on some new doc series projects. Like we want to do something in the boating industry, but maybe something else. And I'm going to try to pursue whatever it is that we come up with. So yeah, we'll see.
Focus on things that will make us happy to make, flex our creativity, not worry too much about views. Can be tough.
Never really worry about them.
Yeah.
Not on YouTube videos because there's so many things that go into it. It's like, let's just focus on making the best thing that we can make. And if we enjoy it, then that's good.
Yeah. I think that's the same way that Mike handles his stuff too. He's only doing it for his own enjoyment.
And everything is about him and Sarah, and you really get to know them, and that's what people like watching. So it's a perfect formula for him. All right, well, let's throw it over to Mike.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy.
What's up, you guys?
Hi.
Why can't I hear you? Hold on here. I know you can.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. It's been a while since we've done the webcam, so I'm glad it's working.
You guys feel like you deal with an old person.
No, we just ran
Only because
into
you're
it.
looking at it like.
Yeah, you got bifocals? Well, shall we kick this off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mike, why don't you tell us where you're at right now?
Right now, I'm in Big Pine Key at our place in the Keys, and it's fantastic down here. Nice warm weather. Why don't you guys tell me where you're at? How is it up there? Or we'll do some ice fishing.
Ice
like
fishing?
Michigan or some shit?
Not yet. It's trying to freeze. We got a little bit of snow covering the ground today. Put the drone up, tried to get some snow shots, but it'll probably be melted by tomorrow.
It's 25 degrees currently.
Definitely cold. I wish I was where you were or where you are.
It's great, but I go back northeast here in a couple of days, so it's all good until you have to go back. But I'm actually ready to go back. Sarah and I have been on travel for the last 3 weeks, so we're ready. Even though it's cold, we're ready to get out of here.
Have you guys been shooting while traveling?
Dude, we haven't been able to put the cameras down. It's been so annoying. I have terabytes and terabytes of 360 footage. Now the 360s are kind of the king of the game.
Oh yeah.
It's just I have two 360s rolling around the clock, and so it's a lot of data. I get that time to show you guys something.
I got it right here, Mike. The X4.
Nice, dude. Nice. You got
The
a
weapon of choice.
That thing is the bane of my existence when it comes to editing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Be careful, you don't drop one of
Oh,
those.
there it goes.
Just oh shit, where'd it go? That was probably an important one. I hope I downloaded that one. So yeah, we've been shooting a lot of footage, and we went to Thailand for 2 weeks. So you guys, Thailand is one of the coolest spots. The topography of Thailand is unreal. So how are you not going to roll 360s around the clock? I mean, I can't even describe it. In fact, a 360 is going to have a hard time, illustrating it to what it was really like. It's just crazy. So we ran around the clock in Thailand, and then we're doing some stuff. We just did the 500, the 450 comparison with Trente. And then we did 4 fun runs in 4 days, which was nuts.
Smart.
We're exhausted.
How did you find that many fun runs that quickly?
So basically 5 years ago, Mikey Boyle, who's a popular guy in the fun run kind of genre or category, this guy's been doing it forever. He has probably just about as many miles on an outboard cat that I do. 5 years ago, he came to me. He's like, Mike, do you want to do these fun runs? There happens to be 3 fun runs in 3 days, and you kind of like scab one in there. We can make it 4 fun runs in 4 days. That was like 5 years ago. So we did them. We put a bunch of episodes together in series together on those 4x4s, which are on our How to Live channel. And they became really popular, and we coined it the 4x4. And the cool thing with the 4x4, you guys, honestly, is this. 10 years ago, you could not imagine taking a boat 1,000 miles in 4 days without issue. And so the first year we did, it was a challenge. Like, we had a kind of challenge. Nobody can use a trailer. You can't use spare parts. Let's just see if we can do it. And the first year we did it, I think the 3 boats, it was me, Mike Howe, one other boat. We actually pulled it off without having any major issues or using the trailer. And now we rolled with 12 different cats this year. And you know what? They all finished. I mean, we lost a prop here and there, or a blade here and there, but we had spares. At the end of the day, the sport has evolved to such a higher level that you're not replacing engines, you're not doing valve timing and things like that, and big motor maintenance, things like that. And so we're able to just enjoy the water, right? Like, isn't that the idea? To enjoy the water and not have to do all this work to your boat. And so that's where we've evolved. And I know you inboard guys love your inboard cats, but at the end of the day, if you just want to spend time on the water and not have to deal with the issue, yeah, it's something called evolution.
I don't know if we're inboard guys.
Oh, not us.
No.
No.
You're speaking to the general inboard public. I mean, we recently became, I guess, inboard guys with the Super Cat series, but before that, I mean, Sensation, that's all
outboards,
Yeah. It's so reliable now. I'm not saying you're not going to get in trouble, but at the end of the day, we just ran 1,000 miles in 3 days without a hiccup, so
Nice.
doesn't mean we're not tired. That's a first world problem, you guys.
That was definitely a first world problem.
I would say most of this podcast is only relative to the first world.
Yeah. To be so tired from having too much fun, in the water.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't go in another helicopter. It's just exhausting.
Exactly.
So one of the things I thought was cool to talk about was just the difference in how we go about making videos for YouTube, because you got your channel and we work on a couple channels, but we do it so differently. And that was so apparent when we came and shot with you on the Kraken or up at your place in Maine. We've had a few different times where we're shooting together, and you like to use stuff that is as run and gun as possible. Use your phone, use the 360 camera, the Bluetooth mics, and then we're rolling around with our FX3s and, some good audio equipment and some lighting potentially for interviews. But at the end of the day, it's all going onto YouTube. So it's cool to see different styles in the same industry produce different content. So maybe just talk about why you chose that approach.
Well, I chose that because it was simple. And there's only one way you're going to run a gun. And that's to just leave all that other stuff behind and get it how you can get it captured. There's another part of the evolution. I keep using that word, but there's another part of the evolution of what's happening right now with social media and how you view things. I firmly believe that people are starting to kind of get annoyed with the polished stuff because they don't want to be sold something. Or they don't want to be sat down for a movie anymore. This long form, oh my God, do I have to sit through credits? And so now it's kind of like this evolution's been like, okay, I need a quick 30-second quick clip, and it needs to be, someone walking his dog, that slips on the ice or whatever it is. Like that's their new instant gratification. Mm-hmm. And that's done with run and gun type stuff like cell phones. So I think that it does twofold. It gives you the sense of authenticity, but it also allows you to do it. Because let's face it, like when you're doing 100 miles an hour and something happens quickly, you want to be able to catch it quickly. That's kind of an excuse for also me being lazy. I mean, I could do the FXR stuff or the SLR stuff, and I did for a while, but it does take, unless you have somebody there doing it with you, you just can't do it all. You have to draw a line somewhere. So I've tried to create the highest quality of content that we can do without taking that super professional level that you guys do. And I think that there's space for all of it. you know.
So I got to ask you, have you seen these new Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses? Because this seems like it'd be right up your alley. I mean, you got 1 minute to 3 minutes to record. They look pretty good. I mean, they're not like bulky or anything, but I mean, this would make it even easier for you.
I have. My brother's a pilot, and he has a Carbon Cub, so he's doing a lot of that stuff. Same stuff I'm doing, but on the air side, and he's got them, and he I think he wears them quite a bit, but not as much as you would with just your phone. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I integrate those.
Nice.
Are you guys going to switch to some glasses? Bradley, you going to put some glasses on and ditch DSLR?
I might wear those to film some behind the scenes because you can see your hands. So it's an easy way for me to film behind the scenes when I'm using those cameras. But my dad and Katie got me those for Christmas. So I'm going to try them out and see what I can make with it. I mean, it's really simple. You just hold the thing down, you like pinch it, and it records for however long you set it for.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like an instance where if it's the only way you're going to get a shot too, you might as well take the shot no matter what you're shooting on. I mean, how many GoPro videos do we use where it's like, okay, yeah, we like 4K, but you know, if we need to use 1080p to get inside something that you wouldn't normally be able to see without that angle, without that tiny action camera or whatever, it's just worth it. And I think going back to what you were saying, Mike, about people kind of being over like the highly produced stuff, I think that can be true for like ads specifically or like Instagram marketing and stuff like that. If you were to use something more rough like you do, it feels maybe more genuine, like true. Like you're not trying to spruce it up. You're not trying to oversell it. You're like, it speaks for itself. So who cares if I'm shooting on a 360 camera or a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses or whatever. But then like a lot of the stuff that we do, I mean, it's not super long. You know, I feel like we're usually like in the 20-minute range. And we do a lot of pre-production. So it's kind of like there's more intent there with the story that's taking place, and there might be like multiple angles to the story, or it might be something that's like referencing history or taking different approaches than kind of just like, I guess, sharing an event or what's going on. But in that instance where it's like you guys are running from one place to another, everything that you guys do is perfect for that, because I would rather just see what's actually happening. If you start shooting with FX3s, I might think that you're full of shit. I might think that everything that you're doing is staged. So if you're just holding on to a giant pole and showing me exactly what's going on and not sprucing it up, then it's like more believable.
Yeah, I agree. And the glasses do one more thing, which I think is pretty important, and it's the incognito. So one thing I've also noticed in the evolution of film and social media is people are getting tired of having a camera stuck in their face. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. We're on the receiving end.
We're getting longer and longer lenses just to be further and further away, so people don't even know.
Right? Yeah, they're so used to it. They're like, for the first time, I would say in the last year, I've had people actually say, and I never thought this would be the case, but actually say stuff like, hey, I don't want to be on camera. Like that used to never happen. And so people are tired of the social media craze, and the glasses allow you to get away with wearing some glasses people don't even know.
Yeah.
Unless they have can you turn off do you have
I haven't figured out how to turn the light off. No.
Really?
Yeah, there's a little light on the corner.
Tape it.
Well,
it's the lens.
Oh, it's in the lens.
Yeah, the light is in the middle of the lens with that records.
It's definitely obvious that you're recording.
It's probably for that reason, so that you cannot record people and them not know that you're recording.
Dude, then you're like a creeper.
Yeah, exactly.
You're definitely
Unless it's outside, I feel like it could be bright enough outside that you wouldn't see it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We've run into the issue for sure.
There's always a problem with something.
Yeah, social media. I mean, that's just the loss of privacy in general. I feel like for a lot of people, so I can see why they'd push back on it. Some of the stuff that we do, like the story-based stuff, you're getting sign-on from people. They're actually funding the project, so it's like you need to be open with us. You need to allow us to capture things as they're happening, and it takes a long time, but eventually people do kind of forget that the camera is there. But there are a lot of times where I feel very uncomfortable with like just being in somebody's face and being like, just don't mind me, keep doing what you're doing. It's like nearly impossible.
Yeah, and it's changing. It's going to evolve. It'll probably come full circle, but it's always going to change.
So we did a video with you last year for the In the Lead. Was that last year? Right?
I didn't even been
2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay, so 2 years ago we shot with you for the In the Lead series. So if anybody wants to see more about Mike's past, go watch that video. It's very informative. We talked a little bit about why you got into the video game, but were you into it personally before that? Like, were you doing, when it was just How and How Tech, were you doing the marketing for that company personally, or does it even go further back than that? Like when you were doing music, were you shooting music videos and stuff like that? Was the interest in video always there?
Yeah, dude, that's a great question. We were. So back in this is before any of you guys were probably born.
Yeah, go ahead and date yourself real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like old dinosaur shit. 1994, 95, Jeff and my brother and I had a rock band. And we got out of college in 96, and I decided to be a rock and roll lead singer. And it was awesome. It was like some of the best time of my life. But we made a music video. And have you guys seen it?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Have I sent you guys?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Did he play it for us while we were there?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm starting to remember.
Yeah, so this music video was us on a fishing boat. We were commercial fishermen at the time. And so we did this like just nobody had it done. Like 96, like you were like made if you had a music video. I remember going into this local video shop where you got this stuff done, and it was like racks and racks. You had to have so much computing power to do the simplest of stuff. And we made this music video, produced it, sent it out, and then I dropped it off at Dave Letterman. It was on a commercial fishing boat, right? And Jeff and we had played at CBGB's, which is a really big bar down in New York. It's like one of the biggest. And I stopped off at Dave Letterman's, talked to the producer that night, and gave him our video, right, of us jamming out on a commercial fishing vessel, right? Never heard anything of it. And like maybe 6 months, 8 months later, true story, you can look it up. There's a Hootie and the Blowfish video of them on a commercial fishing vessel. And I didn't realize that Dave Letterman was producing part of, had something to do with Hootie and the Blowfish at the time. But, so I guess our idea was taken, but we got replaced.
Damn.
So we'd always been doing it, Bobby. We've been doing it. And then back before the internet, there was well, not internet, but back before YouTube, and the internet had just started, you shared videos a totally different way. You'd have to have your own website. And we opened howandhow.com way back when. I don't know, it was like 2001 maybe. And so we had a platform to hold a video, and that was massive. If you had a website and you could like house your own video, it was fucking awesome. And we did that. So we were like paying whatever it was back then, $19.95 a month to have your own website. And we put up a couple of videos of Ripsaw. One was Ripsaw going through a shed, and it completely took out the shed and ripped it apart. One of my best buddies actually here this weekend drove it. And it was one of the first viral videos ever. It got hundreds of millions of views, and you knew because you had the little counter on your website, like you could actually see the counter on your website. And you'd share it through an email, like AOL. You'd send it, and it'd pop up your email and be like, sweet, what is this? You watch the video. You couldn't preview it or anything like that. You just have to click on the link and pray that it wasn't, a virus. But that's how videos got shared back in the day. So we'd always been doing it. Discovery Channel caught along in 2008 and 9, and History Channel, they kind of did a competitive thing over us, and Discovery Channel won, but they had actually seen our videos. That's how Discovery Channel got a hold of us. In history, they'd seen one of our videos with Ripsaw. So we'd always been doing it, and we kind of went on a lull with that after Discovery Channel. We got burnt out on having a camera punched in our face, Bobby. We were on the other end of that, so I know what that's like, and it does suck.
Yeah, but they were kind of manipulating the storyline too. They were trying to make it dramatic.
They were, and I'm not supposed to, I don't even know if my non-disclosure is still
in effect
a thing.
Evergreen.
A thing. It was so long ago.
They might watch Table Scraps. You never know.
Yeah, one of our 40 viewers.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Hopefully they do, and they can learn from this. So back in the day, Jeff and I were innovators, and we wanted to innovate, and we didn't want drama. We didn't want to look like idiots on TV. And their focal point was, or their learning point was, the Tuttles from OCC. And you remember that like, we replaced them. They went out and sought after, the Howe brothers because of the tunnels. And they made them look like idiots after a while. I mean, it was just so much drama. There's so much fighting, and that's what people tuned in for.
Mm-hmm.
And so they tried to do that with us. And the producer of Discovery, tried to get me in a grease fight with my secretary. And it was just like, no, we're not doing it. And he flew up the next day to Maine, and he's like, you guys got to understand, innovation is great, but that's not right why they're watching. They're really watching for drama. And Jeff and I are like, peace out.
Yeah.
We're out. Like, we're not doing this.
Yeah, then don't watch. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you kind of started, and I mean, you made the video for yourself, I assume, but then it kind of ended up being like a marketing for yourself, for the Ripsaw. And then you went through the Discovery Channel phase, and then now you find yourself in this kind of like adventure phase, like shooting just aspects of your life. Is that kind of marketing too, or is that more just for fun?
Yeah, what keeps you making all these videos? I mean, it's been so long, so many.
Somebody asked me that the other day, and it's really creation. Like, an artist will never stop painting. A musician will never stop making music. And for me, I wake up in the morning to create. Like, that's it. Like, it's that simple. I love it. I love to find new visuals and audios that combine and bring their emotions to the surface. Like, that just makes me so happy. So I have been able to find a way to I guess mesh marketing with that. But again, I don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do that because I don't want to be looked at like I want authentic. That's so important to me. Sarah and I go out on the line. Like, we post stuff that we probably shouldn't, that might not make us look perfect or great, for the authenticity credit. So we try not to. And with DSK Marine, it's luckily we don't have to try to sell that boat, so we're good there. But it doesn't mean that we don't have fun on it. I mean, and we do some marketing. We did some with you, Brad and Katie there for a bit.
Yeah,
and that was awesome. But
yeah,
what's marketing? What's having fun?
Yeah, you're just using it and enjoying what you built. And I was wondering, your creativity that goes into these videos and everything, does that stem over into the products that you create as well? I mean, do you have a drive to create products as well?
Yeah, I do. In fact, we're now getting into a point where the 440, I love the 440. It's an amazing boat. I mean, it's one of the best boats I ever owned. But I just called Randy. I just called Randy yesterday actually, owner of MTI, or previous owner of MTI, and I said, look, I think it's time for a change or something bigger, better, different. So we're now kind of kicking that ball around. What's next for the house? It's not going to be a 440 as you see it now. It's going to be different in some way. So how are we going to do that? So yeah, and some of that's pushed by the adventure stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, we camped out on our bow. So how can we take that idea or the adventure aspect of what we do and roll that into a design and make it so like Randy and MTI can sell that down the road to people that also want to seek that same type of adventure.
So you're talking about like potentially a custom hull, a custom build?
Yep.
Or like a collaborative build?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I've sent some ideas back and forth, and because I'm a designer as well and have the same programs, so I as a client, I can take their model and I can add stuff to it, subtract stuff to it, and kind of give them not just a sketch on a piece of napkin, but actual like CAD renderings.
Are you having the boys up at Maine work on that?
No, that'd be a conflict of interest. So
I just know they're really good at it, so you could probably have them come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, those guys are great. Those guys are focused right now on winning our contract for the U.S. military. We find out in about 2 or 3 months, and if we win that, it's really groundbreaking. And as far as the military sector and just changing it and not having to go to this big four, but actually take innovation from these smaller entities and really serve the warfighter and our U.S. soldier to their benefit. So fingers are crossed.
Yeah, and for the listener, that video that I mentioned earlier, it dives into a little bit of what Mike and his brother's company have done as far as, I would call it public service, honestly, some of the stuff that you guys were focusing on.
And I will say, sorry.
No, good.
I will say that out of all the videos that have been put out on us or me, that was the best. I mean, you guys like did such a good job on that, and I know you guys get accolades all the time, but for me, that was really well done. It was spot on, and it did. Like, if you have 20 minutes and want to know a little bit about how to live, it sums it up perfectly, and it does it with entertainment and emotion. So I think is it your number one?
I think so, yeah.
It's definitely the top in the lead.
Yeah, top in the lead,
for sure.
Yeah, top in the lead, and that makes me happy. So, and you guys like did so well in that. So thank you for that. It's really awesome.
That was great. We had a great time coming out there and doing that.
Yeah,
and taking a bit more of a cinematic approach to something, just to show you in a different light. You know, everybody sees you with just an iPhone or whatever, and this was just different. You know, I hope that they appreciate that.
Yeah, and part of it was also you being who you are and knowing the game and liking to create, and us kind of using your opinion in that too. Like, the objective was to portray you as accurately as possible, but you had a say in that too. You know, you guys did. We sat there in your office for a while and talked about it, so just that definitely directly influenced the video. But
you know, we're able to hop on a boat and rip across the ocean and have dinner.
That was such a good
just
day.
Like we're, you know,
yeah,
like it's just
so many oysters. So good too, Maine oysters.
I found my love for oysters.
So they're cold water. So I'm down here in the Keys. It's a true story. I'm down here in the Keys, and we're out to dinner, and I asked the waiter, I'm like, hey, do you guys have any cold water oysters? He's like, oh yeah, we got some cold water oysters. Well, I'm like, sweet, let's get a dozen. So we get cold water oysters, and I had the first one, and I'm like, damn. That's not cold water.
Not as good.
so he comes back to the table. I'm like, hey, I thought you said you got cold water oysters. These are not cold water oysters. He's like, yeah, they are. They're from the Gulf, like Louisiana. I'm like, bro, that's not cold water oysters, man.
I would have no idea.
Yeah, I just want to say that you, living in Maine, growing up in Maine, working commercial fishing, like, you have every right to be an oyster snob. I just want to say that.
Yes, I am. There's a difference between Louisiana and Maine waters for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
so, Mike, I wanted to ask you about the Supercat series. I know we talked a little bit after the first episode went out, and I was curious what you thought of the rest. Maybe just let our audience know kind of what your thoughts are on it, and what'd you think?
Honest opinion.
Yeah, roast us if you have to.
This isn't a puff piece. We want the real thing.
Well, I think that here's my honest opinion. You guys know that I'm a critic too. I'm not going to just call you guys up and, you know, say it's awesome when there's issues. But honest to God, you guys, that was the first time I sat down. This is the truth. It's the first time I sat down and I watched a boating episode, part of a series, and enjoyed it like it was true entertainment, like something you see on Netflix. And that hasn't really been done in the boating. I feel like I like to bring that to the boating scene where somebody can actually sit down and enjoy, I call it 20 to 30 minutes of meal time, something to watch when you eat with your loved ones. And you guys did that for the first time for the racing, because before that, racing is all about the machine. It's all about the boat. It's all about the make. It's all about, you know, the 450 class, the superstar class. Nobody really gives a shit. They care about people. And you guys brought like the characters to life, and in that, and once you start to watch the first couple of minutes, you guys are starting to feed the audience members those really important like personality cues that makes them want to come back. That's what makes people come back for more. And you guys hit it, man. You guys hit it out of the park on that one. I'm so excited for you guys. I know it's frustrating because obviously you guys want 100 million views tomorrow. But I don't even like the views will come because it's such a good show. So excellent job, you guys. I mean, I'm really, really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Obviously, the only thing you've done better is the one up in Maine with the Howard.
Yeah, no, we appreciate the feedback. We've talked about the views. You know, I think it's kind of leveling our expectation on that because the sport in itself already is at kind of a deficit compared to other things as far as the amount of people that care. So we knew that would have an implication on the views right away. And, you know, we're talking about how we're going to market it and try to push it out a little bit further. But at the very least, it's an explanation of what we're capable of as a team and what Brad's capable of as an editor and our ability to tell stories. And to your point, maybe people like the run and gun stuff better. It's easier to watch, but at least we can convince somebody like you that might feel that way that every now and then it might be worth it to sit down and watch something and have it be a little bit more maybe professional but honest at the same time, because that would be the hardest part, is giving an accurate portrayal of what actually happened and who the people are without making it seem like we're trying to manipulate it in a certain way, because we really didn't. I think that was like,
some people think that we did.
Yeah, I think it was most important to us to not do that. Like that was never the goal. It was always to be genuine.
Yeah, you said, Mike.
I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, looking outside in, like, I never thought it was manipulated. It was awesome. Like, you guys presented it in a way that looked, you know, fair and real and authentic, and that to me is the most important thing. But you guys built the characters. Like I told Brad earlier on this subject, would you guys watch a series on skydiving?
Would we watch it?
Well, would you watch it, Katie?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not.
Personally, I would say no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I wouldn't either. And so when you don't have a connection to what you're doing, like if you guys were producing skydiving videos, you might have a pretty narrow world of viewers, you know. And so the powerboating world might be like one level up from skydiving, but maybe not.
It might be the other way. I mean, it's what, $200 to go jump for the first time. You're never getting in a boat for $200.
Right. So that's how I kind of view it now. You know, if our hobbies and our interests and what we film is so insular in its own world, then that's your population. The challenge is to expand that. The challenge is to make everybody watch skydiving. I mean, that's the challenge somehow. And you don't do it with skydiving. You do it with the plane or with the parachute. You do it with the people. And so, you know, you guys did that for the first time. And it's refreshing because that's what I like to do in my stuff too. I like to build the characters. And so I love it. Man, it was awesome.
Before we even did any pre-production on this, you and I had talked about what goes into your videos and how focusing on people is the right move. And that's what we intended to do at the beginning of this. We said we have 3 teams. They have 6 to 10 people on each team. We're not going to make this everybody gets equal share and, you know, you say who you are, what you do on the team. We're going to pick the most interesting people on these teams, and we're going to create a connection with the audience to that person. And it doesn't matter what their boat name is. You're going to know that person's name, and you're going to know who they are throughout this season.
Yeah, and why they do what they do and what they have at stake. I want to go make a documentary about skydiving now.
Just because.
Yeah, I'm like, I could build a character. Yeah, I could tell who this person is, why they got into it, why there's so much at stake for them, and just repeat the process.
Yeah. But I do think that this industry isn't like ready for this. They're not used to it. They haven't seen it before. So the viewing audience maybe isn't looking out for it. And the people that we're actually filming just aren't used to being filmed like this or having a video put out like this. So I think it's going to take some time.
But also, you guys, our world is so saturated with videos. Everybody with their dog walking with whatever cats. It doesn't matter. It's become so, and I would say it was prolific 10 years ago, but it's parabolic now. I mean, it's like a ramp like this. It's all changing. Have you guys noticed that there's a big there's a big pay-to-play scheme now with a lot of these social media things where it's really hard to get, unless you're boosting or unless you're doing, like, it's really, really difficult to get clean, genuine views.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a little faucet. Like, they know, it's almost, and I hope this doesn't happen, but I really see in 2 or 3 years, you're paying to have people watch your stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least paying to be on a news feed. I'll give you an example. Like, we have millions of followers on Facebook. If I was on a million news feeds and I put up a cool picture, it should have 1 million likes within a day, but it doesn't. Why? Because Facebook has learned to their algorithm try to squeeze money out of their, what do you want to call it? Their news feeds. So on YouTube, when you guys put something out on YouTube, is YouTube really putting that out on how many subscribers you guys have? Whatever,
like 30,000, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. So are there really 30,000 news feeds that your video is being put up on?
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
I don't think there's any good way to know anything for certain, honestly, unless you work for these companies. I mean, we're constantly trying to figure it out, and it's constantly changing. So,
but you look at your CTR, your click-through rate, and it's usually, if it's good, it's like, what, 7-8%? So even if they showed it to 30,000 people, you're hoping that, like a couple hundred of them watch it? Like, that's pretty good.
Your click-through rate should be a lot higher with your subscribers. So you guys should have your subscriber click-through rate should be a lot higher, whatever it is.
Separated from subscriber and non-subscriber. Yeah. I guess the combined number is what I would look at. And if it's anywhere close to 10%, that's really good.
Yeah.
But
it's such a big business now. It comes down to, I wish it would stay the same. Like, I wish it was all about content. It was all about content creation. Like, you guys have super quality content. How to Live has super quality content. And I just wish it was about that, but it's just not.
We got to make our own websites and upload our videos and start emailing the links.
Go back to the basics.
Dude, that's what we did. Yeah. Exactly. That's what we did in the old days, man.
I mean, there's just, to your point, there's so much though. Yeah. So I'm sure they're just trying to figure out, well, one, it's all about money. How are they going to make the most money off videos? But trying to have such a wide casting net to make that actually efficient. I mean, some people are going to get screwed, I think, in the process.
Yeah, and it's an algorithm. It's AI's now involved. There's so much that it's just not as simple as putting up video up on YouTube and have it be high quality. Which brings me around to that last point with you guys. What you guys made with that series was such a resume builder to me. Like, you guys that now is your thing. Like, that it doesn't matter who you show it to. That is your perfection so far. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's going to get views and stuff like that, but that's the minimum of what that is for you guys. It's really a really cool resume for you guys.
So if you could just pick a different sport, not skydiving, for us to maybe for us to make another piece like that on, what do you think would suit the three of us that's, attainable? I'd love to do the NHL, but right now I don't think that's possible.
Dude, that's what you need to do. Like NHL, and go and do another enforcer video or something like that. Like, everyone loves the enforcers.
It'd be sweet. I mean, I'll try, but
it's for me, if you guys were going to do something and try to break into the really popular sectors, whatever is most popular, NFL, sports, like the big sports.
Yeah.
The big sports. That's where but it's hard to get in. How do you get your foot in the door to, interview NFL players?
Mm-hmm. Brad had even been talking about starting at the collegiate level potentially. Because, I mean, it's not like they have the funding of professional teams, but also the project that we just did is kind of you find the person that has an interest in the video and they pay for it. They fund it for you. Yeah. So it could be easy enough to find somebody who wants their kid to have a successful career in sports, and maybe this is good exposure for them or something like that, and go that route.
Yeah.
NASCAR would work.
Any of the colleges or pro teams or whatever would laugh at our budgets because they'd be so small compared to what they probably get pitched on.
Or maybe they just say deal immediately. Sounds
They
good.
could be thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't forget though, there's in the flip of the coin, there's also big production companies that I've worked with in the past that are farm to discovery channels and history channels that their world's turned upside down too.
Yeah.
Because do you guys watch Discovery Channel anymore?
No. No, not at all.
I haven't watched Discovery Channel in 10 years and I was on it.
I watch
You
YouTube.
don't do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we only watch YouTube.
That's it.
Like what do you guys watch like as a channel? YouTube, right? Like it's your
Yeah,
cable.
How to live.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
a-
I do
I've
YouTube
heard
channel.
they're good. I've heard they're really good.
See, yeah.
They just don't put out enough stuff.
Yeah, right. If
Did
they
you
were
guys
only
notice-
consistent, they'd have 1 million subscribers. How
Right.
many times do you
Yeah.
read that?
Oh my god, it's so annoying.
I know.
And now they get like, have you guys had the shit where they actually get kind of mad at you? It's like
No, we
It's
don't
like you
have
all,
that
like-
many yet.
Yeah, well, they're not that
they
passionate.
get mad at you.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, like that comment. If you guys have over 1 million subscribers, if you just post it every week, I mean, I'm trying to like make content here that doesn't involve me just going to the hardware store and whatever. Like it's more than just walking my dog, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also have an entire life to worry about outside of the creative outlet that you're using as well.
Yeah, if you look at other entities that like Whistling Diesel or the Diesel Brothers, those guys do it. I mean, they do it boom, boom, boom. They're releasing videos every day. However, I do believe that there's something called post fatigue, and there you can also go the other way. Like, all right, I've seen enough of that. Like, I'm done. So have we gone that even close to that? No, but I think that once a day stuff too can be kind of, people are over it. I'm over watching somebody destroy a G-Wagon,
Yeah.
just because it can. Like, I don't give a shit.
I wonder if the YouTubers that are popular like that will have like a career, like a professional athlete where, they hit a certain age and they just can't do it anymore. And then it'll be interesting to see where they go from there because, you can always make videos. You can't always play in the NFL, but it'll be interesting to see like what the shelf life is of some of these main creators.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting my hip replaced. So hopefully I can get a couple more weeks.
Sounds like you banked all that footage for a reason. You're going to be on the keys.
Plenty of time to edit.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking for quite a while now. I think maybe we should let you get back to your vacation and back to Sarah and enjoying yourself.
You guys get to go make snowballs and snowmen up there, or whatever you guys are doing up there. Do some ice fishing.
Friday night, that's what we do, make snowmen.
I'm going to go from one building to a car to another building to the next source of heat. That's it.
I'm only teasing you guys because I'm going north.
Yeah,
with you guys
yeah.
Maine.
in another 4 days here. So you guys will be teasing me.
That's all right. We love it, except for Katie. She hates it, but I think you love it too, Mike.
Oh, by the way, Katie, we have been doing some launches with the T-shirt cannon lately.
Really? Have you gotten good?
Not really. It's definitely.
Wait, have you had any good fails?
Yes, we've had a couple of epic fails. Like, dude, I shot somebody the other day. I was like, oh, don't sue me.
Did you get it on video?
Yeah, did you roll the camera?
Yeah, a couple of them.
I love that.
The problem is it's a dichotomy because you have to make the T-shirt bullet, dense enough that it doesn't balloon out when you shoot it. Like it's gonna be like a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's too much like a bullet, then it comes out of the cannon
Cause some
awful
serious damage, as we've seen.
So as we've seen, so I continue to try to perfect that. I have not.
I'm glad you're practicing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
All right, well, Mike, thanks for hopping on here. We'll be sure to drop the links to your channel and the Supercat series and everything on this episode. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
I'll do the same for you guys. Cool, man.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.